Hello everyone, it's Juju here. Today we're going to talk about pets. I'm going to guide you through the process and help you understand them. Let's start off with what type of pets there are and how to obtain them. First, you have aberrant pets, and then you have ordinary pets. Ordinary pets don't have the purple next to the name, and the aberrant pets have the purple. It's easy to tell when you have the marketplace sign on the top left of the pet, where the regular ones, unless they are pre-update, cannot sell them. These are mostly for converting. Some pets, if you have specific skills, you might want to keep because they are important later on. We were talking about it in the bond spots. You want to place the pets so you can have a maximum of 11 traits. We will also talk about that in a minute. Now, the best ways to get pets are through contract shop. You can get 3 a week, earned by battle points.
Ugh,
Next is
who just
marketplace, and
browses?
then you can buy them from
I'm
the affiliate
joking.
shop. Look for hidden legendary pets with over 170 attributes, which you can buy here. They're fairly cheap. Don't buy any other pets unless they're aberrant for 2k, or don't buy any at all. Uh,
Oh,
Four types of
well,
pets you can have are gray, common, blue, magic, yellows. These are the blues, and then these are the yellows, and then you got the orange, which are legendary pets, which you need to have over 170 attributes to be a legendary pet. You can have a 170 and over attribute pet, and it's not a legendary pet unless you convert, because the cats will not be three-headed unless it's unless it's unlocked. If it's awakened, it will turn into a legendary pet. So the best way to make sure you don't mess up is when you're converting. Let's say you have these 3 pets here. When you're converting, make sure you use conversion stones. This is very important because if you don't use conversion stones, it will not take the highest attribute pet you have, which it will be the legendary pet. You see here, it'll say 194, which is my legendary pet. So if this pet was not awakened, it would not be 3-headed. It would be an ordinary yellow pet, or an ordinary blue pet, or an ordinary gray pet with 170 and over attribute. It doesn't have to be a certain color, because any pet with over 170 can still be a Legi pet. They'll automatically turn into an orange cat if it's a hidden 170 over attribute. Doesn't matter if it's yellow, blue, or orange, they can all have over 170. Now, the best way to do this is going over to the pet shop. Let's say you have a pet
Oh,
with 170
well,
attribute.
I have the books for company.
What you can do, and I don't really recommend this, but you can do this. If you already have a
Oh,
pet, which you can
well,
use,
have the
like
books
for
for
instance,
company.
if you have a cat with, 5 rare skills, and transfer the attribute from this pet over to this one, and then convert this one and turn it into a Legi pet. It's got to make sure you do it. It's got to make sure you use convergence stones so you can keep the attribute. You can see here, will tell you which which attribute you're going to keep. The one with the highest attribute will get kept. If you use convergence stones, if you don't, you will lose and get a random cat. The skills count, if you use convergence stones, you will automatically get 1 legendary skill. If you don't, you'll also get all rare. There is a chance of getting Legi, but it's just not going to happen. You don't want to lose your legendary pet, so make sure you always use stones. Now, let's go over the next process. So, if you look at the traits menu here, in order to maximize the benefits of all the traits, you want to make sure you use pets in your slots. So here you can see increases damage to players, maximum life increased, and primary attack damage increased. You're gonna select that. So you're gonna automatically get those 2 traits, these 3 traits automatically. Now what you want to do is get another 7, 8 in those other slots. So what we're gonna do here is grab my other pets, make sure they're not the same traits. Damage from, you can see here, Sorry. So here we're going to get another damage taken and increase the skill damage, which is going to add another 3. And then in this slot, we're going to go here. It's going to add another primary. We already have primary attack damage, which is okay. It's not going to stack, but it's going to give it to us. We're going to get the pack mule from the pet. We're going to get critical hit chance increased. So that's going to make it... Oops, sorry. Let's add that there. So now we're at 8 out of 11. We're going to add another slot. And let's go with this one right here. Now we're at 10 out of 11. So you get the idea. You want to maximize your traits. You want to make sure that every pet you have... Let's get this one here too. This one we're missing is the damage reduction increase. So what we can do is just go through here. And this one right here you can see is damage reduction increased. So now we can put it here into the spot. So look at that. Now we're 11 out of 11 for that slot. This is how you maximize your pets and getting the right traits from all of them. Now next, let's talk about getting the correct pet that you want. So let's say you have, for instance, let me remove this pet real quick. Now let's say you want to create a pet. You want to convert, let's say you already have a legendary pet or a yellow pet. As long as it's a aberrant pet. Let's say you want to keep it as a cat. You want to keep the pet that you want. And you want to reroll your skills. So when you go to convert, and let's say I only have one cat here. So because I have 2 cats here, my chance is going to be 50% to keep a cat. I mean, as long as I use conversion stones, I'm going to have the same legendary cat. I'm going to keep my legendary cat because I'm using conversion stones. Because I'm using 2 cats here, my legendary cat plus an extra one, my storm lost is going to decrease my chance of getting another cat by 25%. Sorry, by 50%, because 2 cats would be 50%. 3 cats would be 75%. So my storm loss is decreasing my chance by 50%. So not going to be a guaranteed cat, but at least I can re-roll my legendary skills and see if I can get a savior. But it's not really worth it, really. It's very costly. You can waste a lot of platinum, and also you need conversion stones. So I do not recommend re-rolling skills unless you have extra plat to spend. You know, as soon as you get a pet that's aberrant, just sell it in the marketplace. Don't try to re-roll. It's not worth re-rolling. Always sell your pets. Every pet you get, sell it. If you do want to keep a pet and, you know, you want to maintain just one good pet, I always recommend going with either a cat if you don't have savior. You don't need a legendary. It's great to have one. But even just having an ordinary pet, an aberrant pet like this one, you know, it's still nice. You get a soul shield. You get the skill of the pet. It's a really good pet. It's probably the best one for PvP. There are alternatives, but I'd still choose a cat over all of them. Alright, so let's talk about hidden legendary pets. So if you do get a pet with an attribute over 170, make sure when you do, let's say it's an ordinary pet, like this one. Let's say this pet was 170 or over attribute. If it's an ordinary pet, you're going to want to convert the traits. So you want to move the attributes of this pet. You go to the pet shop. And you go to attribute exchange.
I'm joking.
Let's say this pet right here, let's say this one was an ordinary pet and it was over 170. You want to take the ordinary pet and convert the attributes over to a aberrant pet, because aberrant pets are required when you're converting. Because if you convert an ordinary pet with 170 over attribute, you will lose the hidden legendary status of that pet, because you can only keep the status if it's a aberrant pet. Any regular ordinary pets that you convert will always give you a randomized pet you never keep anything from your pets unless they are aberrant. So you need to take your ordinary pet with the 170 attribute and transfer the attributes over to a aberrant pet. So you can use that pet to convert and turn it into an active legendary pet, because your pet will be hidden before converting. So you want to turn it into a legendary pet by converting it as an aberrant pet with 2 other pets. So if you have a cat that's 170 and it's not awakened yet, if you want to keep it a cat, use 2 other cats. You'll have a 75% chance of keeping it a cat when you turn it into a legendary pet. If you don't care about having a pet cat, you can use any pets that you want as long as they're aberrant. Just don't use pets like this one, like the cat that I have, because you're going to be wasting it. 5 rare skills is just going to be a waste. You're not going to keep those when you convert. It's just going to be a wasted pet. You might as well just sell this pet here and then use another pet like the Stormlost, because it doesn't matter how many skills there are on the pet. When you go to convert, you're going to pretty much keep the highest attribute pet that you have, which is going to be the hidden pet that's over 170. Make sure you use convergence stones. Don't convert the aberrant pet without convergence stones. Always use convergence stones. When you're converting the pet you want to keep, always use convergence stones. Never convert without convergence stones. And don't waste cats like my blue one here that has 5 rare skills, because you can see here my cat already has 5 passive skills, 2 legendaries and 3 yellows. So if you convert the blue cat, it's not going to do anything. All it's going to do is give me a higher chance of keeping the same skills they already have if they are both the same skill. Going to be a 50% chance of keeping that same skill, which I don't want. So don't waste a blue cat like this. Use a pet like Stormlost or another pet, doesn't matter which. If you want, you can use 2 cats. You can have a 75% chance of getting another cat that's leggy. Finally, let's talk about what to keep and what to get rid of. Just remember, when you have a hidden pet over 170, always convert that pet into a legendary pet and then sell it in the marketplace. You will get more out of your plats than you will out of the pet. If you do get a savior pet and it is a aberrant pet, always check to see how many rare skills you have. If you have a pet with more than 3 or 2 yellow skills and it's a savior pet with 1 legendary skill as a savior pet, you can easily sell that pet in the marketplace for 80 to 100 platinum, which will be more beneficial to you than a savior skill would be. It's really good to have a savior skill if you're a higher reso or mid reso, but if you're a low reso, savior is not that important compared to having, a better build. Finally, the pets to convert, anything under, if you have aberrant pets like these, always sell these in the marketplace. If you have a pet like an ordinary pet, even if it has 4 or 5 yellow skills, to be honest, you're not going to get anything from them, and as long as it's not legendary skills, it's always worth converting. Even if it's 5 yellow skills, just convert them. Doesn't really matter. They're not worth anything. If they, like this one right here, I'm gonna convert this. Again, it's nice to have the reduced cooldown, but I'm gonna keep converting this. Hope that I get an aberrant pet. Maybe get, savior on this one. It'll be really nice. It's not worth, keeping this for any reason. Just kind of re-roll it because it has 2 legendary skills. If it turns into an aberrant, then I can sell it in the marketplace for a little bit of profit. Pet like this one, for instance, has Savior. This pet, I can only sell for 160 in the marketplace, but it's a really good pet. Has Savior, that's kind of what you want. If I were able to sell this for under 160, I probably would, to be honest. But the lowest you can go is 160. Nobody's gonna really spend that much. In reality, it's 20 to 30,000 max for a Savior pet that you should really be spending. Unless you get a really, good offer like 20,000 in the marketplace. Other than that, it's not really worth it to spend money on Savior. So, Savior plats, spend it on your character, upgrade your character, and one day you will get lucky and achieve a legendary pet or Savior. Don't rush it. Alright guys, thanks for watching.